some of our brothers and sisters in the occupied zone. The chair is against the wall. The chair is against the wall. John has a long mustache. John has a long mustache. It's 12 o'clock, Americans, another day closer to victory. And for all of you out there on or behind the lines, this is your song.
Oops. And welcome everybody to our daily gun show. Come to you live every weeknight at midnight Eastern, and we talk about guns for an hour. We simulcast this over on gunchannels.com. Gun Channels is a community we built. It's going on 6 years now. A place for people who are interested in creating two-way content to get together and collaborate and network. People that are interested in watching grassroots real effort in the creation of two-way content. So thanks to the people that follow us and join us over there and are part of the conversation. All of our efforts here are projects in new media. So we're trying to encourage people as listeners and viewers of this to be part of the show and to use the tools that we have out there on whatever platforms you guys are that we're listening on. Got a bunch of people in here tonight. We got Al jumping in from Texas. Thanks for joining.
Hey, thanks for having me.
You bet. We got Gary jumping in from Kansas. Thanks for joining.
Hello, thanks for the invite.
Always. Then Daniel just jumped in from Illinois. Thanks for joining.
Yep, I'm doing the It Shook All Night Long dance tonight.
Okay, and then Patriot joining from Michigan. Thanks for joining.
Thank you for the invite. Appreciate it.
Oh, yeah, always. And then Zorro down here in the heat in California. Thanks for jumping in.
Thank you for the link.
And I'm in Arizona. So we've got people all around the country. I know it's cold up east and north, but thanks for everybody for sticking around and being up late to hopefully keep warm with some interesting talk about guns. So we've got some people out there in the chat. Fallen Hammer, dude from California. I guess he's in California right now, but he kind of bounces back and forth. He was met up with us in Arizona when we had one of the 2A rallies, and he joined us for that. And cool dude. Has been around on Instagram and every once in a while on the YouTube. Looking for you over on Gun Channels, again, community. It's all about people hanging out and collaborating and networking. So I guess there's some tools over there that we use, and there's a website that keeps it all together, but mainly it's just a bunch of people. So check it out. And is that Travis? I don't know which Travis that is. So
Travis Haley?
No, I doubt that dude's watching my shows. I don't know if it's Travis from Caliber Corner or if it's some other Travis. So there's too many Travises, and I don't know all your YouTube names. Anyway, we got people joining us. For some reason, Angelina's out there. And then got people watching on the Gun Channel side. So
apparently Amy is too busy to come in here and join us.
Yeah, probably because you're mean to her about her name. So we're going to talk about February. Unless somebody has anything else to chat about, we can always go on another angle. But I've just been working on the February calendar, and all kinds of neat stuff happens in February. Added a bunch of stuff from last year. And if I can get my screens to click here, we'll just screen capture the February calendar and start digging in. So I like to do projects that are interesting or different, right, on the YouTubes. And one of the things I've been doing is like a real early morning like info about the gun history of the day or whatever gun anniversary it might be or something like that. So been putting all that stuff together on guncalendars.com. and getting ready to do that for February here. And we've got a couple of big events, I guess you could say, like multi-day events that happen yearly. We got that Great American Outdoor Show. So I guess we can start there. Is anybody... Patriot's kind of close. I don't know where Pink's at. He's out there. Dano, I guess, is kind of not really that close either. So none of us, I guess, are planning on going to this thing. Do we know of anybody who's planning on going?
I think Pancakes is.
Is that the one that's in Pennsylvania?
Yeah.
Yeah, the 9-day one. So it covers this first weekend of February, and then all the way through to the second weekend, so 9 days in February.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Midnight Range is going.
I heard Squib said he was gonna probably try to get over there too.
Maybe Black Cat.
Now that's the one that does outfitting kind of stuff as well. It's not just firearms. It's more
Definitely not just
backpacks and
firearms.
everything.
I've never been there, but it's definitely not just firearms. From what it sounds like, there's like campers. Somebody said they set up like a whole log cabin in there. They'll be fishing and off-roading, different kinds of things. Besides, it's an outdoor show, not just a gun show.
Okay, nice. Should be some good weather. That is outside, correct?
Partially, sounds like it's in a fairgrounds or some place. I mean, it's been going on for a long, long time. So the place that it's been going on, I think, is kind of built for it, or it's built for the place. But it's indoors and outdoors. When it sounds like a fairgrounds. So there's
Okay.
critters or something are probably outside. But yeah, if that's just in a couple of days, it's going to be super cold, huh? That must have happened.
Yeah. They have to have something set up for that, so that it's not. I mean, otherwise, I don't think anybody would really show up for an outdoor show when there's wind chill.
Will anybody even show up when it's how many degrees in Ohio or in Pennsylvania right now? Dano's got it the worst, right? The coldest in Chicago and Wisconsin area.
I heard earlier it was negative 30 something here.
Well, actual temperature is minus 22.
Oh.
I'm not sure what the wind chill is.
So it's not even cold there.
Right, it's a freaking heat wave.
So where do you get one of these maps that would show you, like, I don't know, what the temperature is everywhere? I think you type in weather map, but all I'm getting is historic ones. Like, how do you get a current weather map?
I think if you just put in weather.com, that'll give you, the U.S.
And it's like showing me rainstorms and stuff. I'm looking for like a temperature map.
Oh.
Anyway, I thought for some reason I saw something earlier and it looked like Midwest was getting the worst or the coldest.
I'll take a look, and later on, if I find it, we'll bring it up later on.
So looks like we've got the first thing that's happening in February, at least on my calendar, is the 1994 ban on 7.62 by 39. So this was when Olympic Arms decided to make a 7.62 by 39 caliber pistol, and even though they were warned a couple of different times by people, Century and other people that were importing the ammo, who were aware of the implications, they decided to push it anyway and brought it out at SHOT Show. So this was, I guess, when SHOT Show was hitting February. It wasn't always in just January. So it must have wrapped around to February that year. And they put it out. I think the story was there was like 5 or 6 that existed. All 5 of them were held by the company still, never sold. And the 6th one was given to Gunwriter, and then it was brought back to the factory. So none of them were ever even offered for sale, really. They were just sort of in-house prototype pre-production type of things. But the ATF used that to basically trigger, I guess you could say, the 1986 what was it, the steel core ammo ban, which said that if any pistol created with an ammo that has a steel core, then that can prevent it from being imported. So it's a tough one to research, but in 94 is when we stopped getting 7.62 by 39 because of that sort of cause and effect of kind of a setup, and then this was the second blow, or like the setup, and this was the release. The 1986 ban on steel core ammo said if anything ever is made, if any pistol is ever made for a caliber that has steel core, then that can no longer be imported. And that's how this, so many years later, 11 years later, whatever, triggered the ban on importation of 7.62 by 39. So That's one that I don't want people to forget that stuff, and it's difficult to get your head around it sometimes. It's definitely tough to research it because most of the sites that had the information are now gone. So you have to go back to the archives to find this information. I don't think it's deliberately being repealed or removed. It's just that funding and long-term availability, depends on how long somebody can afford to keep information online. So once they can't afford to keep the information there anymore, it's not there anymore. So trying to keep that information going. Hopefully people will see that and dig into it and do some more research on it. I guess we can keep going. Maxim. So there's 3 Maxims, right? And every single one of them was either born or died in February in like the 5-day window. So it makes it super interesting and super complex. So there's 3 Maxims. One of them made the machine gun. The son made the suppressor, and the brother of the guy with the machine gun, so the uncle of the guy with the suppressor, did smokeless powder. So that's Hudson, and he was born on February 3rd. And then we've got the machine gun guy, Hiram, was born on February 5th. And then his son, over here somewhere, is going to die on like the 17th or something over here. So all 3 of them are kind of in the calendar, all in the same group of days here. So that's one of those things that I'm trying to keep, help people keep it all straight for anybody that's interested. USO was founded in 1941. Anybody do anything with the USO ever?
I can't remember if it was the USO or a affiliate organization that has spots for service people in the airports.
Yes.
Yeah,
I know.
I think that's USO. I think so.
Yeah.
Yes. Just to rest.
Normally they would send me by bus, but like when I got my final discharge, they just send me on a plane. I didn't have to take a 28-hour bus ride.
Bus? I had to take a bus from like an airport one time, but yeah, they fly you around. Or they flew us around.
Well, there must be a general rule as far as like if it's under so many miles. It was back in the days of Greyhound.
I guess
where
so.
Greyhound literally went to every little town in the United States.
That would suck. You had to travel in your Class A's in a bus.
Yep.
Yeah, that would suck. All right, so USO was founded in 1941. That'll be on February 4th. Then we got, again, the Maxim from the machine gun. Got Eric Sykes. So, the Sykes Fairborn knife. You ever heard of that? There's a little picture of it right there.
His last name is familiar, but I can't place it. I thought it was something else. But yeah, I do know that name.
So Sykes and Fairborn were hand-to-hand guys from India between the wars, between World War I and II, and on the mean streets of, where the hell was it? Somewhere in Hong Kong or something like that. So they got into a massive amount of knife fights, like 600 knife fights or something, and figured out how to effectively deal with knife fighting. So they get called back to basically be part of the OSS training at the beginning of World War II to train operatives in quick, deliberate knife fighting, like dispatching people with knives. And they came up with with that Sykes Fairborn dagger that was pretty.
It's really skinny, isn't it?
Yeah, I've got a better picture of it down here, I think.
I got a question. Were they over there as a requirement of their military service? Because it's like 600 gunfights. So. Is what? At some point you got to say, okay, I'd rather go home.
Knife fights. They were in the police.
Oh, okay. Or I'll go work somewhere else.
They were just hardcore dudes that, there was bad stuff on the streets of Hong Kong in a day or wherever it was. Anyway, so that guy was born. Get my roll over to work here. Back in the day, 1888 or something like that. Then we got the outdoor show happening for the rest of the time. We got Mosen from the Mosen Nagant. He died in February. We got the Freedom Expo. Heard about that one from, who do we hear about this one from? Somebody's speaking there. Might be Pincus, I think it was Pincus is speaking here. So this is something that's going on in Florida, and it's going on the 9th of February. So something about, I think it's like all laws in regards to freedom, not just gun stuff. But I think Pincus is the one that you heard about it. I heard about it from and put it in the calendar. I like to put this one in there. 747 in 2010. It's the first time the Air Force put this giant laser on the front of an airplane and then flew it around and knocked down a missile. So they could knock down a missile from an airplane back in 2010. So that's already 9-year-old tech. That movie 600 Miles was released back in 2016, which was cool because they paid me to put a bunch of my guns on a table and make like a fake gun show. And then who was in it first? The guy from Wings was in it first, and then I guess he sucks. So then they refilmed it with Tim Roth from movies, and then so they filmed it a second time, and I got paid twice. And the second time I went, I got to put twice as many guns down, so I got paid twice as much. It was awesome. So and then when you watch the movie, I tried to stage like an Every Second Matters patch and a Gun Channels patch near the this one like close up they did, and I don't remember anymore because I only saw it the one time. But I don't think you really see the Every Second Matters patch, but you see right next to where the Every Second Matters patch was, which is kind of almost cool. Anyway, it's kind of neat. And then Bob, my friend from Tucson Guns, was in it, and he said something. I forget what he said, like yes or thank you or just some words, but that was enough to give him credit in the movie. So I got to go watch the movie. It only appeared once in Tucson. I don't even know how many times in the United States, but only once in Tucson. One showing in Tucson in English. And me and Bob went and watched it. So I got to see an actual movie with the dude who was in the movie, technically. That was kind of neat. That'll be the 11th. And then that's also the beginning of the Salute to Veteran Patients Week. So has anybody ever heard of this?
No.
I have not.
So it's, I guess, an awareness thing for the VA, and what does it say here? To encourage citizens to visit hospitalized veterans and to become involved, I'm assuming, in veterans activities, or encourage hospital veterans to become involved as volunteers. So I guess this started, I don't link here to where it started.
I got a quick question before you continue. Is that actually a thing? You can just walk into a VA and say, I want to visit somebody. I don't know their name. I just want to visit somebody.
Yeah, you can. You never heard of like visiting hospitals and stuff?
I mean, people either, they were in your unit, or, whether you just knew their name, or, that sort of facility, or family, or friends outside of the service, but not like total strangers.
But yeah, you can definitely just do visits, and some people will do it as a formalized thing, but then others will just go in and say, yeah, who needs somebody to talk to or whatever.
Is there a name for that type of visit? If somebody has, the reason I'm saying is I don't have a VA hospital near me, but if somebody does and they're listening to this at some point in the future, and if they go up to it, it's called a certain type of visit, so when they go up to the counter, they know what to say. Like I don't want to say courtesy visit, because that's not right.
I think it's just called visiting. Everybody I've ever known that volunteered just called it visits, but I don't know. That's a good question.
Yeah, I'm sure that people at the front desk would know.
But yeah, let them know that you've got some time. You need somebody to spend some time with, and they'll give you all kinds of opportunities.
I mean, I realize if you volunteer, that's a whole other thing. But if you just want to, on your own, you have a spare Sunday and want to go talk to somebody, just tell them, you want to talk.
I mean, I'm being crazy, but I know people that do it with animals. They'll take their dogs or whatever into therapy, animals. And I would imagine it's the same thing for people that don't have a dog, or for not everybody wants to pet a dog. I know people that don't have dogs. So, those people probably need more help than anybody because they hate dogs. Need help. All right, so that's a thing, and we put I tried to put every military what would you call, like observation type of thing in here. There's a lot of them, and I don't know where you draw the line between when you get fed up with them or when it's appropriate to recognize, like there's a grandparents one, stuff like that. So you know, at some point, you know, spouse might get a lot of attention deservedly, but then, you know, they have specific dates for or weeks or whatever for stuff like this for the veterans patients as opposed to just veterans or something like that. So anyway, it's interesting to see how many of them there are, and that's one of the things we put in the calendar. Then we get to the patent for silencers. It was patented in 1912, and the patent was filed in 2010, both in February. That happens quite a bit. It'll happen with the 1911 too. It gets filed in 1910 in February, and then it gets patented almost a year later in 1911. So patents sometimes take a little while, and most of the time when you see a patent drawing, it'll have the date that it was patented and the date that it was submitted. So I usually put both in there just for shits and giggles, because it's interesting sometimes to see when how long it took a gun to get approved, I guess. Like the bar took 2 years for some reason.
I do have an interesting side note on that before you go to the next event.
Sure.
And I just heard this today, is that on the ATF form, if you want to buy a silencer, and you have to fill out the ATF paperwork and send away your money and then wait for approval, is if you put suppressor anywhere on the paperwork in writing, you will get rejected, because suppressors are not an NFA item. Silencers are. That's what the ATF calls them.
Who said that? That's crazy. I never heard of it before.
It's a few people idolize him and a lot of people hate him, but his name is James Yeager.
I never heard that before. Now, if Yeager's saying it, there must be a thing about it, but I've seriously never heard of that before.
And that's why it's a suppressor, or excuse me, it's a silencer per the ATF, not a suppressor, even though technically it is a suppressor. But legally, it's a silencer.
Okay. So,
like I said, just a little side note.
Yeah, that's interesting, because he's also one that will say shouldn't matter what you say, suppressor or silencer, and he gets all on people for saying suppressor. Anyway, so on the day is this 14th, Valentine's Day, I guess. That's when Elmer Keith died. Anybody know who Elmer Keith was?
Does it have the year?
The year he died, 1984.
Okay, I was just curious.
He's born in 1899. He's the guy that came up with a couple of different calibers, right? 357, 44, and 41.
Yeah. I find it fascinating myself sometimes, you know, to look, you know, due to, you know, my age and so forth, people that I theoretically could have actually known and talked to as a quasi-adult or as an adult.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, seriously. It pisses me off. Like, this guy, I don't know. It would have been neat to talk to Elmer Keith, the guy that invented the 44 Magnum, I think. 357 Magnum. 1936 or something. Yeah, that would have been pretty neat to talk to him. Somebody else I just put in here, too, just died in, like, 2 years ago. And it's like, dang it. Like, could have talked to this guy. He was probably at SHOT Show. So Elmer Keith died on Valentine's Day back in 84. He was 85 years old. Is that right? Yeah, 99. And then we got the veteran patient still. The 1911 was patented. So its patent was almost a year after it was applied for. The patent came through on Valentine's Day because the government loves us. And we got the 1911. And then it's, I guess, the beginning of the Western Hunting and Conservation Expo, which is in Salt Lake City. Looks like it's a big hunting-themed trade show, and it looks like they do some kind of drawings for hunting permits or hunting trips or hunting, what am I trying to call them, tags. So it looks like the incentive, or one of the incentives to go into this show, is that they have special hunts or tags that that show gets, and you get them, you get a run, you get a slot to win them by going to the show. So it's kind of interesting. I didn't know about that one. And that's a couple of days. I think it's like 4 days. So that was the 14th. So yeah, that's a weekend, Thursday, Friday, and then the weekend. So we also have Dick Kasul, born on the 15th. Anybody recognize that name, Dick Kasul?
Of course, he's another developer of a cartridge.
Yeah, the 454 Kasul. But he also made the AR or the AM 180, that 180 round 22 with the looks kind of like an Thompson, but the drum is horizontal up on top and it holds 180 rounds. Full auto 22 long rifle. He invented that gun. He invented the giant revolvers to shoot his own giant cartridges, but then he also is the inventor of the modern tiny revolvers. So he's the one that originally came up with the Rocky Mountain Arms 5-shot 22 short and kind of created the modern mini revolver. Then him and I keep saying Jerry, but him and the dude from Frontier Arms got together and improved that. And then when they got sick of selling it, they sold it to Tally, who is now North American Arms, basically. So he's the guy that made some of the smallest or the smallest little production revolvers and some of the largest production revolvers. Kind of a cool dude. He was born in 1931 on the 15th. And that's also the same day that Atchison, or however you say his name, the guy that created the AA-12, that guy died on February 15th in 2003. So that guy created the 22 caliber conversions for the AR-15, the Atchison conversion kits that are pretty cool. And then the lightning link, the thing that allows a drop-in auto sear basically to make a semi-auto AR-15 into an M16. He invented that in like 72, I think. So that was pretty cool, dude. And you could have talked to that guy up until 2003. He invented the AA-12 in his garage. Nobody's got nothing to say about that one, so we'll keep moving to...
Well, he may have done the engineering there. He didn't actually make the prototype there.
Yeah, he totally did. His garage in Florida.
He's got a lathe and a boring mill and all that.
Atchison, yes, he was definitely top end. One of our top. He was in my deck, dude. He was one of the top end gun inventors in this country.
Yeah, and I'm not doubting you. It just I realize the machinery that's required to make all that happen.
Oh yeah, he made it out of existing parts a lot. That was his style, is to use existing parts and reuse them, sort of, and then a lot of just welded. And I don't know if you've seen the AA-12. There's not much to it. It's all sheet metal and kind of welded together. What are you saying, Patriot?
I was just wondering, didn't something happen with that just within the last few months? Something that it either was approved or it was something that I heard about that it actually.
Well, Sol and Vicudis bought the stuff from Jerry Berber, who had bought it off Atkinson back in like the 80s, and he had been sitting on it, and then Bourget came along, or he hired Bourget to make it a semi-auto, which he did, and then they kind of sat on it. Nobody was buying it, and then Sol and Vicudis out of Florida came along last year-ish, maybe. I think mostly last year, maybe a little bit before, and bought the semi-auto AA-12 off of them. So they took it down to Florida and took it from where Bourget had left it, and then got it to where they made, 1,500 of them or something? 1,000 of them? I forget the number. And like they're available now. People can actually buy a semi-auto AA-12. So yeah, that had to either, or maybe they're still waiting for it to be designated a non-destructive device, because I think that's the problem. If you have a shotgun that can hold a drum, it's a destructive device now per the way the ATF interprets. That's why there's never been a semi-auto AA-12, but somehow they've got something different that, I don't know, lets them make the semi-auto, and they had the full auto version of it at SHOT Show. So what was it coming up like? There was probably only like a dozen or something people, a couple of dozen people on the planet that had ever even shot a full auto AA-12 until last Monday, and then I bet you the number doubled with all the people that got to shoot that A12 at the media day. So let's see, got Grand died. Grand's a Canadian, turned American, made the Grand, did all kinds of other cool stuff, and then turned over the patent to the Grand to the United States. Just said, here, I don't want any money for it. You can just have it. Pretty cool for a Canadian. He died on the 16th of February. Then we got the 1911 being patented in 1910. So that, like I say, it took a year. We got Atchison being born on February. So a whole bunch of these February people die and are born right in the same month. So it makes it confusing. So he died on the 15th, but he was born on the 17th. A couple of years different. I think I'm getting a little bit of the crud. I joined eBay on 2003, or at least Gear Website started putting stuff on eBay in 2003. I think I'd been using eBay before that, but I started doing the Gear Website store over there 16 years ago. That means I've had an eBay store longer than some people are alive. Then we got the same things going on, the Veterans Patients Awareness Week and that Western Hunting and Conservation Expo up in Salt Lake City, I think. Then we got the Coast Guard Reserve birthday. 78 years old, I think. Coast Guard Reserve. No one? All right.
No.
Then we got the 20th. We're getting up into Dragonoff's birthday. He was born back in 1920, and he made the SVD. Then we got the Tyhart Amendment. Anybody remember that one? This is 2003. Tyhart Amendment. Republican from Kansas, so I'm surprised Gary doesn't know.
It's yeah, T-Hart. That's how it's pronounced.
Okay. So do you remember that one?
Yeah.
Was there any big deal about it or anything? I can barely remember it. I do remember.
Not, you'd think so, but not really. I mean, it sure seems like it should have been. I remember a little bit about it.
It prohibited the ATF from publicly releasing data showing where criminals purchased their firearms. Only law enforcement or prosecutors could get that information. And I think the idea was so that criminals wouldn't be like, hey, thanks for telling us like where the bad gun shops are.
Right.
But yeah, I don't know. I think that one's pretty much a good one. I don't think the ATF needs to be publicly releasing any data or even collecting data. But
nope.
So we got the 21st. Robin Moore died. He's the guy that wrote the song, the Green Beret, Ballad of Green Beret song. I think he wrote that movie also that John Wayne was in. Then you got Rising. Eugene Rising died in February back in 1967. So that's that 45 ACP subgun that was sort of to compete with the Thompson. Never worked really. Anybody know who Ludwig Borgmüller is?
You mean the guy in the 1800s that did the pistols?
No, he was born in 1912.
Well, I'm thinking of Borgshire or
German guy?
Something.
He's a German. Ludwig Borgmüller. He's the set me guy. He invented the set me in 1950. But he was a Nazi before that. First he was a Nazi, and then he created the set me in 1950. But I put him in the listing. How about James Paris Lee? Anybody know who that guy is?
Nope.
Oh, he's important. I got a little hover over there, but you have to have really squinty eyes to be able to read it. There's no way to read that. So Lee is from the Lee Enfield.
Right?
And he's the guy that invented the action and the magazine. So we wouldn't have detachable magazines. Up until then, it was all tubulars and singular stacks and lock clips. He's the guy that gave us removable magazines.
That's cool.
Him and his brother created a couple of guns. So
what year was that?
The year that he invented the, what do you call it, the action or whatever would be, he patented that in 1879, but he built his first gun when he was 12 years old in 1843.
Oh, dang.
That's impressive.
Yeah.
So up until then, guns were going off and stuff because they just created center fires and then tubular magazines, and it wasn't working with high stuff that had recoil. So that guy's kind of neat. He died in 1972, and he was 72 years old. No, he died in 1904, and he was 72 years old. Then we got Colt's first patent for the revolving firearm, 1836. That'll happen in February as well. Then you got Gatling dying in 85. So Maxim gets, was Maxim die, or you get Maxim gets born and Gatling dies. Then you got the England handgun ban. I don't really post this one as much as I used to, but this is in 1997 where the England banned handguns all over. And I don't know, it's probably worth posting.
I'm trying to remember, wasn't that a slow process where it started with permitting, and then there was a government record of who had what, and then it was restrictions as far as geographically where was it safe and how could you travel. It was literally death by 1,000 paper cuts. And I raised that simply because it's analogous in a way to what's we've been going through for the past since the 1800s.
Yeah, it's definitely like that. I mean, it was a slow process, and by the time they started saying, "Oh, you don't need that, you don't need that," people were so complacent. But it's a huge
I would consider
100-year
that an
span.
analogy. Yeah.
Because they said that you had to basically know somebody. You know, when it first started, you had to be somebody or know somebody to get a permit, and then it just slowly went from there.
Exactly. You know, much like the right to vote, you had to own land. I mean, back in the old-timey days. But by putting those restrictions, they also were able to control power. Who had power and who didn't. The power of the vote, the power of land and money, and ultimately the power of life, the power of the gun. And I think it's, because I think the fact that it's on a calendar date is almost like it was already over. It just, they called it done. The party's over. But it was
all of these. A lot of these things, the date is just like the official date it was signed.
Right. Well, I just think it's worth discussing, especially for younger people who may not know that this was a process. And it didn't even just happen over 10 years.
There's a huge write-up. I don't remember where it is. I'll have to look for it. But there's a write-up from the beginning. I don't know if it was a Magna Carta, but just, I mean, from the very first restrictions until the end, and it was, by the time the people come of age, they've already forgotten more than they know, kind of thing.
Yeah, because for their entire life, i.e., as an example, what's analogous is our millennials, that there's always been heavy restrictions on firearms. That's their experience. That's their reality.
That's normal.
That's normal.
Yeah, that's how you shift. Right, that's how you shift that window, is by making it so that everyone's comfortable, and then you shift it a little bit, and then it's comfortable, and then you shift it a little bit.
Until they think it gets to the point, well, we can just now we can throw that final main circuit breaker instead of the little ones. We could just say, yep, they're banned.
All right. So then we also have on the 27th the bar being demonstrated to the U.S. Army, and then I think it's in like May or something that it's actually adopted. So. What year was this? I think it was right before the war. So Browning was like, what'll make the war end quicker? The bar. So he makes it in February of 1917, and then he just got done making the 1911. He was like, oh, what'll be a perfect match for that 1911? 30-06 full auto machine gun. So then in May, I guess they finally get around to adopting it, but today in February he'll take it out. I think his son took it out and shot it for the government to look at it. Of course, it performed well, and we got bars. Then on the last day of February, you got the Brady Handgun Violence and Prevention Act of 1994 goes into effect. You got the Waco siege in 1993, and then you got Derringer dying. The guy that invented the Derringer, it's named after. He died back in the olden days. 1868. He died before most of these people were even born. And then you got Fairborn. Wait, Fairborn? Can't say his name because I'm looking at it. But the other guy from Sykes, Fairbairn. And that's a little bigger picture of that knife, maybe, that we're talking about. So they worked in Shanghai. They were Shanghai police during the interwar period, and they used the techniques they created there. It's sort of a hand-to-hand way of dealing with knife fights, lots and lots of knife fights, to teach the OSS operatives and the French resistance how to jab the shit out of Nazis with knives. It's pretty neat. It's pretty deadly. Like, if you look at their stuff, it's like, here's how long it takes to die if you stab them here. But look how much longer it takes them to die here. And it's like the difference between like 3 and 12 seconds. But they basically used anatomy and like lots and lots of data from knife fights to figure out how to effectively jab the shit out of Nazis. And
it's really kind of freaky when you use, what I'll call quasi-scientific methods to analyze death and techniques.
Oh yeah, and that's definitely like it's recorded lineage. Like that is the development of what we do today. Like where stuff came from, started here, kind of thing. Like that's
because I'm not trying to tie two events together, but like some of the things that the doctors did on the Nazi side were scientifically, more accurate, but just unbelievable.
They weren't stabbing anybody just to see them bleed, though. They were using data from a bunch of stabbings to better stab Nazis.
Right.
So they were
doing it in a scientific process.
Yeah, but stabbing for good, where Nazis were always evil.
Yeah, it's as fucking evil as at least in our lifetime as we've ever seen, as we'll hopefully will ever experience or know of.
So that's the February calendar, stuff I've been able to find for February. There's some other things I was thinking about adding to it, but I don't want to keep it, I'm trying to keep it something interesting every day, but at the same time, nothing unnecessarily, extra just to have something in a day. So always looking for feedback. Let me know. Go up, we can put like reminder videos out there and stuff for things like the Gun Rights Policy Conference that'll be coming up. There's some other things that are coming up, like Kevin's doing a 2A summit kind of creator workshop.
May?
In May? Yeah.
May.
Then I think also in May, there's the the Tyban show. That guy's doing a creator summit in Ohio. And if I can, I think I have them in here both. Or no, I don't have Kevin's in here because I don't know if he's making that like available to everybody or if that's something that you have to sign up for. But that other one is coming up in May here, so I'll be doing some videos to remind people of those whenever I find out when the Gun Rights Policy Conference. Go ahead.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Whenever the Gun Rights Policy Conference is finalized, I'll be putting out monthly reminders to get people encouraged. It's out here in Phoenix this year. So even though I've been told that their goal is not to make it a big event, I'm going to try to make it a big event and get people to start, not being aware of this thing and that, how energizing it can be as an activist or someone who's at least 2A aware to go or to be part of that convention. Go ahead, Dana.
Yeah, I just wanted to put a little meat on the bone in regards to the event that Kevin Dixie is going to be putting on come May. There's a couple things that I know for sure that came directly from him, and one of them is that it's a multi-day event. It's over a weekend, but it starts on a Friday, and you have to contact him. There is relatively speaking, a low fee because it's a multi-day event, and he's feeding you, and he's doing all sorts of things. And you do have to reserve a spot, and it is specifically for not just content providers or gun content providers, but Second Amendment gun content type for firearm type people. So if you push or advocate for the Second Amendment as part of what you do on your channel, that's the type of creator that he's looking for to help you with that, as well as give you some inexpensive skill sets to help add to your channel, both technically and on the range.
I think that's pretty cool. So I'll be trying to get the word out about that, and it's kind of in the middle of the country, so
yeah, it's just outside of St. Louis, Missouri. So it's a great location.
Vanessa Kitty saying Armament and Axis is holding the Creator Summit. Yeah, but he's doing the range thing from what I understand, and then that Tyvon show is doing the other part of it. I don't care, whatever. It's in Ohio, and it's a Creator Summit, and it sounds like that one's available to people. So it sounds like it's trying to be like the Big 3 event, where they bring a bunch of manufacturers and stuff to a range, and then the creators or the people that are there that create content have access to the stuff, and then get to shoot. Except that instead of being invite only, as long as you show up, and I think it's only like $30, you can be part of it. Or maybe more like the Texas Firearms Festival was. It was sort of like that.
And Kevin is not invite only just for others. I know you know that, G, but I mean, you just have to contact him and let him know what you're about and that you're interested. That's it.
I don't think it is open to everybody. You'd think he said that. He would want it to be people that are like, gonna contribute and be a part of
right.
it.
That's why I mentioned it has to be, you have to be, and your channel or your social media has to be focused on Second Amendment activities and promoting the Second Amendment.
I didn't know this. Oh, I'm on Top Chat. Stupid YouTube. What do they even put Top Chat on there when there's like 4 people?
I don't understand what Top Chat is. Why wouldn't you want live?
That's what I'm saying. Like, if there's 1 billion people, default it to Top Chat. But when there's only 2 or 3 people chatting, what the hell is the point of flipping it over so I only see half of the things? Stupid.
I do have a quick question on the chat feature. It used to be that if you wanted to put it in like half speed or quarter speed or whatever it is, you had to do that before you actually went live. Can you change the speed now while it's going?
What? Are you talking about the playback, or are you talking about the text chat?
No, I'm saying, let's say we had 100 viewers that were all texting in over on YouTube.
You don't have any adjustment on the speed.
Oh, yes, you do. It's in the advanced settings.
Yeah, those rookie guys that don't do live very often, they usually use that slow chat so they can keep up.
Well, for channels that are getting literally coming in like a machine gun as far as comments, they put it in slow motion.
So I'm looking for this. You're saying it's under the advanced settings. Oh, enable slow mode. See, I would never even fathom why someone would click a box next to enable slow mode. So I've never even looked at this before.
Well, think of like Yeager, where he's got people just trolling him as well as serious comments.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to set that right now. Chat posts once. Limit chat posts to every. I'm going to put 600 seconds.
Oh, it's adjustable. Well, that's new. I mean, it used to be just slow down and you didn't know what that meant other than just slower. Well, that's good.
They're only going to be able to chat like once every 10 minutes, and they better say how good we are. Because once every 10 minutes.
Well, hopefully they heard that before they commented.
No, I didn't even know that was a thing there, but yeah. And I have it set to automatically block spam messages. So how does that happen?
That's if somebody keeps repeating something over and over and over, the same thing.
Automatically block simple spam such as long messages and all caps or repeated identical messages. Look at it. It's like if you read all this before.
Can you imagine Stone Guy being blocked because somebody had all caps?
He probably has been chatting this whole time.
Yeah.
He's out there. He just he can't get through because he can't deal with flipping the fucking caps lock off.
I understand why he had a preference for it. I just didn't understand why he couldn't like bend to the rest of the world, at least while he was in a text chat.
You live in his world, Dano.
What world is that?
He doesn't live in your world. You live in his world.
Well, yeah, that's what he's. Well, I like to live in our world, at least while we're in these chats. But you're right. I know what you mean.
So what you're saying is all those times I was putting in Matt's chat to do the blind challenge, he just wasn't seeing it because it was saying I was spamming him. That's
Well,
probably why
if
didn't
he
do a
had
video.
that turned on, it's
Oh, that is
defined.
possible.
But if Matt turned it on, then yes.
I don't remember turning it on.
But like
No,
Yankees at chat, where slow speed would be effective tool if you want to see all the comments.
Huh.
Yeah, that round table they had it on slow motion. It's kind of.
Thank you, Patriot. Otherwise, G was just going to call me a liar.
Yeah, I didn't know that was even there.
That Dana, what does he know? He hasn't
It's
put
just
out
for
a
the
video in
rookies.
frickin' forever.
So today is Wednesday, right?
Yep.
Do we have entertainment stuff for today?
Oh, did you have anything else to say in regards to the map?
Oh yeah, Dana's got this map up here now, so can you zoom
If
in on
you
it?
click on it for the audience.
Yeah, except all I can see is a 30-year screen. So can you right-click on that, like open in a new window, or just zoom in on it or something?
Let's see. What's the command? It was the Control Plus.
No, Control and then the scrolly wheel on your mouse.
Oh. Let me try another little trick here. Oh.
There you go.
Oh.
No. Yep. No. We don't care about it.
Where did it go?
Scroll up. I don't know.
I can't. That's as far as it'll let me go. I must have gone too big.
Go down. Go down. No, it was good. You just gotta go find it. That's all.
We'll come back to it. I lost it.
Why
It's
don't you
probably
give
to
me-
the right.
Just give me the link, and I know how to work a computer.
Yeah. Well, you also have a much faster connection than my slow-mo. I'll put
What
it
you
in
gonna say? Mine froze earlier. I couldn't get anything.
Shit, bring it inside, Pink. What are you thinking?
I know.
Oh man,
Yeah, but I had to
he
change
sends me the link with no image. He sends
Go
me
be
this one. He sends me the one with no map on it. Yeah, you sent me the same one you're looking at, dude, with no link, with no map. Can you at least go back and then send me the link to the one that has a map on it? Hit the back arrow.
Okay.
That one. Yeah, there we go.
Okay. Little did he know that I was operating in slow-mo.
Well, most of the internet tubes are
Slow-mo. All right.
according to this map, most of the internet tubes are frozen.
Yeah, it looks like all of Minnesota, all of Iowa, all of Wisconsin, about a third of the Dakotas, a third of Illinois, 20% of Indiana, a third of Michigan, and a thumbprint in Pennsylvania and far southwest New York.
All right. So you
Yeah,
just
so
named
this-
most of the states there.
I like saying the state names. It's a hobby of mine.
So I'm trying to figure this out. It looks like, okay. So some of these numbers are larger, but that's warmer. So the pink is the coldest temperature on this map, and that seems to be Wisconsin and Minnesota, and then kind of expanding from there. And then, holy moly, 27 in Canada, 22 degrees in Minnesota, 14 where Dano's at, 11 where Patriot's at. Who else is in here? Gary.
Which
Well,
is
you're-
also why part of
I'm down
Michigan
in
is
the
not.
dark blue.
Yeah, you're in the
Yeah.
dark blue already, so you're in the like the 10s ish, something, maybe. 6
It's 7 right now.
But
Oh,
it's hot.
Yeah, but upper Michigan is actually warmer because of Lake Michigan right now.
Yeah, my weather says right now it's -13 real feel or actual temp, and it's -32 wind chill.
Well, that makes sense. I mean, looking at the map, I mean, because although it says -11, that's just one spot.
When you're talking about over here, Dano, where Michigan touches Canada, that's because there's so much hot air coming out of Canada.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, is that the escape valve?
Yeah, so
Or
that's
relief
what keeps those plants dry, warm up there. So where Pink's at, it looks like it's -4. So he's living life. He doesn't even care about the temperature.
Yep.
What else we got in here?
He's
Zorro.
literally chilling.
Look at this son of a bitch Zorro's over here in 55. Everybody go back.
Meanwhile, we got Pink Panther all over the upper Midwest.
And where's Al at? You're up here, Al, by 39? 39.40? I think that's where Al's at.
He's clearly too warm. He's so warm, he's fallen asleep, curled up in his nice little spot.
He's got a fan going with letting the cool night breeze come in. Matt's down here living the life at 50 again. Son of a bitch.
Yeah. He's thinking, I might need a little windbreaker.
Now, say after unmuting myself that, yeah, I'm right under the 41.
Okay.
Now, here's a kicker. If Trump built his wall on the northern border, would that stop all that cold air from Canada coming down?
It's true. It's a good point. You'd have to build the wall through the water. That would be the tough part.
Yeah.
These lakes could be like 100 feet deep. So that's a big wall you have to build.
I remember back in like the 70s and the 80s, they used to call this stuff the Siberian Express. It's just a name. It's not really from Siberia, but it's from northern Canada.
Well,
Close enough.
The Russians.
if we look up underneath of this temperature strip here, I'm looking at a -36, a -27. So that's all Canada's. That's where Bob's at, -36. Son of a bitch. Throwing his cold down here.
If
If
I
it's
all
wanted
those
to
air
live in
conditioners they
Canada,
put on
I
his
would have
camper.
moved.
It's probably what it is. They left their air conditioners on, and they're like, "What?" They got that.
It's a
that
solar.
black heat now, so they just all left their air conditioners on. They don't care about it. The government pays for their electric bills.
My furnace stops for about 5 minutes and then goes back on for like 15.
I can't even imagine. I'm over here dying with my electric bill, and you guys are somewhat colder temperature.
I got a question. Has anyone received an emergency alert on your phone from consumers for turning your heat down to 65 to save gas? We actually got that. They actually said, hey, we need, since it's kind of critical outside, why don't you turn your temperature down to 65? Well, until Thursday or Friday.
No, it's odd you mention it because I actually called my son yesterday, and because he's young, he doesn't know all these things. I said, you might want to turn your apartment up a little warmer than you normally have it. So if the power goes out, you have more time to wait for the power to come back on or to make a decision on what you want to do.
That's why I installed a gas fireplace. I don't have to worry about the electric.
Well, unless you want a blower to distribute it throughout your house.
Well, this
still works.
This is consumer, so this is gas and electric. That's what they're worried that everybody. It's so cold out and everybody's at home since everything's been canceled. So everyone's sitting at home with their heat turned way up, and everybody's roasting marshmallows and stuff. That there's way too much power being consumed right now.
And Pink, I do understand that you have power right now. I'm saying if the power goes out, your electric fan blower is not going to work.
Yeah, well, I mean, it still puts out heat though. The blower is a add-on. I mean, it didn't originally come with that.
Yeah, I mean, you could take off the access panel and put a chair right next to it and be okay.
Yeah.
He's talking about a gas fireplace.
Gas fireplace.
Oh, I thought you said furnace.
No, gas fireplace.
Okay.
You just turn them on and it's like
radiates.
Yeah, I had 2 houses with those in it, and they're extremely inefficient, and they're really just for aesthetics.
Unless it's cold out and you don't have a furnace.
Yeah.
Then they're great.
Oh, I mean, as an emergency thing, yeah, because then you can get out your sleeping blankets, get like within 3 feet of it, as long as you have a spark arrestor, kind of a guard, or a glass covering, so you don't get lit on fire.
Yeah, this house originally had there's like a 60,000 BTU gas furnace, or gas stove in it. I mean, it would melt the candles off the opposing wall. So
Forced air furnace?
No, just a gas stove.
Oh, gotcha.
So yeah, this house never had a furnace.
Does it have vents between the different floors to allow the heat to get to like the bedrooms?
Look at Daniel. How many floors do you think everybody's got?
Well, at least 2. Well, no, on older homes it was very common, especially if you look at Victorian homes. Between you can actually stand from a second floor and look down to the main floor.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, this just has a smaller gas stove upstairs.
I just assumed Pink had a Victorian multi-level mansion.
Well, no, but the technology.
And the funnest thing about those is when you're a kid.
Same.
Now, are we talking about the servants' quarters or the actual family house?
Not all Victorian homes were mansions.
It's fun at my grandparents' when I was a kid. We'd lay over top of those vents with a blanket, and the heat would come up. And, we'd get yelled at and slapped up because we were blocking the heat off to the upstairs. But
as a kid, that's what you did.
Of course.
Because it was warm and toasty.
So today's Wednesday.
I like guns. Hail Smeggy.
Oh, did you see? I put that video of the AA-12 in the side chat. If you want to see it.
Oh, I didn't notice that.
Here we go.
Guns is a thing here over on Gun Channels, for those that may be watching and wondering. I have a very slow connection, so it may take a half hour.
Arm on your shoulder. Lean into it. Arm on your shoulder. Lean into it.
So it's like they've added a little mount so you can put objects on it.
Yeah.
That sounds like me with my pump. Not that quick.
That smooth plastic look is very unusual.
Oh yeah, it's awesome.
That's kind of a slab on the side.
It's like a Tupperware with like more of a reinforced fiberglass type of Tupperware though. But yeah, this little metal part here is what holds it on. They just sort of clip into each other like a radio or like a radio or something.
I can't imagine how heavy that drum would be if it had like buckshot or slugs in it.
Oh, are you saying who owns one of these drums? I own one of these drums, and I can tell you how much it weighs. So it doesn't weigh that much at all. It's mostly empty, and
no, I mean when it's loaded.
Yeah, it's 10 rounds, so it doesn't weigh that much. It weighs.
Oh, that one's 20. That one's 20 there.
Are they 20? So then they weigh as much as a box of ammo.
I mean, so 10 rounds would be like, why bother having a drum if it's only 10?
Yeah, you're right.
I mean, there are tube-fed ones that'll hold 8.
Well, this was also developed back in the day. But no, if it's 20, then that's why it goes around that.
Gotcha.
Or whatever. But it's very light. It doesn't weigh nothing. It's mostly plastic, and the drum is mostly plastic, and there's just a spring and a little piece of stamped metal in it.
Yeah, when I was laughing there at the beginning, I just looked out at the target, and there wasn't anything left of the target because everybody was shooting it. It was just a big pile of wood and paper.
Arm on your shoulder. Lean into it.
And it didn't kick hardly at all.
No. Cool gun. So yeah, that was well, it's not his birthday, but it's coming up in February. Pants is saying he's got a wood stove, so he doesn't need no stinking power. Problem is, when the snow melts, all the trees are gone because y'all burned down all the trees to stay warm. All right, we got a lot of dead air. Patriot keeps saying it's entertainment day. I don't know what else we could talk about with entertainment. Has anybody got any ideas for entertainment tonight?
You got a showdown, don't you?
I don't know if I have that in me. It's already 11:10.
When are you doing the bingo chat?
Oh, that's Friday. I should set that up. I'm like probably running on like 6 cylinders out of 8. I think I'm probably getting something. You didn't get nothing, Pink? No prep?
I could feel a little bit starting when I was at the show, and I just popped my normal meds that I normally take, and it kicked it out.
I'm getting just enough to when I go in there to like rub on that dog, make sure she ain't. She always sneaks candy bars or something. I don't know what she's doing. She's eating like those energy drinks or something in there. Those meal replacement shakes. I don't know. She's super into that. So I go in there to check on her, and then occasionally I find myself falling asleep. A couple of days, so I must be getting something. You can make paper logs to use in the wood stove. Yeah, my grandpa used to have this like little thing. You'd take the newspaper and crank it into there, and it would just tighten. It would like roll it really, really, really tight. And then I think he just took like a piece of twine or something to tie it whenever you got it to like the size you wanted it for the fireplace. And then it would just burn like a layer at a time. It would kind of peel off of there, burn for a long time.
That's pretty cool.
Use that.
I've seen people doing that with like junk mail, where they.
Yeah.
I thought they were putting it with water and stuff to make it like a sludge paste and then press it or something. I guess
I've
do
never
the
done
same thing.
that. I don't know if you ever put water in there. I don't know.
Where it just makes it into the pulp, and then you just squeeze the water out, and then it's like a hard puck or something.
Yeah, if you just got it damp every once in a while as you were turning it, I bet you that would help it stick together, and yeah, it would turn it into kind of more of a mass. All right, well, so anybody read any good books? Oh, you know what? I was listening, or I was watching / listening to Punisher at my theater the other day, the new Punisher series that's on.
Mm-hmm.
So I went to watch it, and it's the thing like what Patriot was talking about, where they describe what's going on. They're like,
yeah, you can turn that off.
No, not at my theater, but so I was just like, oh, that's awesome, and it's 1,000 times better because they'll be like, this guy's punches this other guy in the face. You don't have to look over there at that. You just know that it's happening, and then the normal dialogue's happening. A police car goes by or whatever. They'll be like, a police car drives by in the distance. So now it's not pertinent to the story. You don't have to look over. Made it way easier to get some work done. So I've been experiencing that, and it is pretty cool. I think it's a little different because I do have it going, so I look over at it still. Like especially if I'm editing or something, and I have to just wait for something to render. That's when I'll look over at whatever I'm watching normally. So I'm still looking over there, even though it's describing stuff to me. But I can see what you're talking about, how that would be an interesting audio only experience as well, having the movie
for a road trip.
Or just walking or doing exercise or in traffic, yeah.
And some of the movies like Braveheart, where it's really detailed, and the action scenes, and there's just so much going on that you can watch it 10 times and not know everything that's going on. It's nice because sometimes they speak with the directors and get the information, kind of what they wanted to get pushed across, because of the scene or something. And so you'll watch like Braveheart, and they're like, oh, they're raising the pikes and this and that, and so you don't miss what the director's really trying to, if there was something there that you were supposed to catch. That's kind of cool.
Yeah. I kind of need that anyway, because I miss stuff like that, because I'm not paying attention or I just don't care. And then, yeah, I'll miss something that has, oh, I was supposed to see that the slave guy was opening that door earlier. Like, I didn't see that. All right, well, I don't have it in me to keep talking. You guys are all being dead air, so cutting it off. We're ending it.
Hey, I just got back. I got a sandwich.
Oh, sandwich, huh? So, what do you got here? Watercress, apples sliced thinly, green apples, and then
bean sprouts.
Bean sprouts?
Not exactly. It's a one-off.
And then white bread with no crusts, cut diagonally.
No, it's peanut butter and jelly. And in fact, if you want,
what?
Yeah.
All right, I'm amazed. Go ahead.
Hey, it's called I Gotta Earn My Training Time, and this is how I earn it. All these little cuts in the financial diet to save up for that big class. For all of you out there to say, I can't afford it, but I can smoke Newports every day. Have a sandwich. Save some money. Don't go out to eat. Have another Newport.
So instead of like hanging upside down in the doorway off of some bar doing like sit-ups, like vertical sit-ups or whatever that would be called.
Well, I mean, because I have to pay for my class. It's not like 2019 is the year of training.
Oh, please. It's totally the year of training. And I know a couple of guys that put a little bit of effort into getting the thing rolling, and they have
free training.
Yeah. They're getting offered to go to all kinds of places because while trainers would like to have full classes all the time, that doesn't just magically happen. It happens through awareness. And when people are out there putting effort into that, they're getting rewarded with opportunity. So, yeah, definitely this is the year of training.
Okay, well, tickety-tock.
Well, yeah, well, you've been on the show before. Remember Ballistic came back for a minute?
Mm-hmm.
I keep thinking you and Ballistic had a show, so I guess that has nothing to do with
No, it was me and Thin Blue Line.
Yeah, well, they were both kids. That's
yep,
why.
They were.
All right, well, so Newports are for homeless people. I smoke American Spirit.
Don't tell Marco that. They match his shoes.
I went over to Marco and Pink's place. I think it was, our last day. It wasn't your last. But yeah, they had like at least 4 different pairs of shoes that all looked weird. Like,
I'm sure one was pink and all the rest were Marco's.
No,
they weren't Pink's. Pink doesn't leave his shoes laying all around. Those were Marco's, I bet.
Isn't that what I said?
All mine are upstairs.
Oh, I thought you said one of them was Pink's.
No, Marco said he had 5 pairs of special shoes.
Yeah, and 4 of them were downstairs from the kitchen to the living room.
Mm-hmm.
All right,
one for each day of the show.
Now they're talking about food out there. So this is what happens. So you guys, I didn't go to the $1,000 meal. I didn't want to spend money on that. So you guys went to the one place where if you're fat, you don't even have to pay.
Right.
All you got to pay is for a drink. So what did y'all guys get there?
Marco got a triple-decker sandwich.
That's his £1.50 one he was talking about?
Yeah.
Now, is that the one that he gave to G's dog?
Oh, no.
No, he ate that whole one. That was £1.50. So that had to be 3 half-pound patties as a triple?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's crazy.
Let me see if I can find a picture of it.
Marco says something like £1.50 of ground beef.
It was like 60% beef, 40% bacon.
No, are you guys? I'm talking about the heart attack one, not the bacon part.
Yeah, that was the.
Okay, so at the Heart Attack one, they also had a bacon / hamburger burger.
Yeah, it was kind of like ground together. It was.
So they take 60% beef, and then they take 40% bacon and grind it like beef hamburger.
Yeah.
And they make that into a patty and grill it like a hamburger, except you're eating 40% bacon as part of the patty.
Although it's unbelievably not healthy for you, it does sound interesting because then the whole patty would taste like bacon rather than just part of the patty.
So then this is a place called Heart Attack Grill, and yeah, if you're over 300 pounds, it's free. And then they only sell shit that's like designed to kill you. So it's like, everything's got butter, and they make a big deal about it. Don't you have to put on like a hospital gown to eat there?
Yeah, you have to put on a hospital gown. Excuse me. It was funny because Marco ordered a Diet Coke, and he was like, "There's nothing diet there." Yeah, that right there is his sandwich that he had.
That's crazy. So then, what did Joe get?
Joe got a single.
And then what did you get?
I got a double.
Holy crap. So you just all got hamburgers? That was it?
Yeah, hamburgers, fries. I got a milkshake. Joe got a Coke.
Was there a milkshake to write home about?
Yeah, it was okay.
Was it big?
How does somebody eat something like that?
Marco did.
The glutton there.
I mean, there's not enough bread to make individual things out of it.
Nah.
So then that was the first night. And then the next night you went to the bacon place the bacon bar. So what's the bacon bar all about?
Bacon bar, pretty much everything was involved bacon.
So there were onion rings they took bacon and wrapped it around the onion ring and then deep fried it.
Yeah, let me pull those pictures up.
Same thing where like a hamburger is 60% hamburger and 40% bacon. So it's automatically bacon. And then there's bacon on top of it.
What do they do to the bacon, since it's not obviously the cut of the meat, to make it taste like that?
What? Bacon has got nitrates in it. It's the sodium nitrate.
That's what gives it. Okay.
Yeah, and that's what kills you. It's just like mercury. It stays in existence, and now you're a mammal with it in you. So it's doing the same thing to you to some extent from your stomach out that it does to the bacon. When it's dead,
bacon is like the lowest quality quasi meat.
I don't know about that, but it's
next to pink slime.
That's supposed to be what's bad for you. Oh no, there's way worse meats than one. Bacon is relatively decent. It's out of one animal at least. One animal, and you're eating a slice of it. I mean, there's a lot worse things that you could be eating, and at least it's cured. You don't get sick with
organs and different animals and.
This right here was like.
I'm not suggesting that's palatable. I'm just saying bacon is just at least it's from one critter. It's definitely not. It's like the opposite of what you're talking about. Anyway,
yeah, Dan, this right here was life changing. This was awesome.
So onion rings in breading, and then bacon around the outside. And then I don't go over there because it's fucking 45 minutes or 47 minutes from where we were, and they went over there. And do they bring us home an order of bacon-wrapped onion rings? No, but they bring us home stories of the bacon-wrapped onion rings, how they're life-changing. Oh, they're the best things you ever eat. Did you bring us a to-go order? Oh, no.
Well, they probably cost $50 for just a side order of onion rings.
I think probably you ain't kidding. How many did you get there? 6? 5?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep.
So
what does something like that cost? For those going to Vegas, wanting to have a bacon experience.
I'm thinking this was only like $10.
$11 probably. That's what I was going to say. I think I was looking at some of the stuff on the menu. That's one of the reasons I didn't go over there either. It was 45 minutes from where we were. So that means I would have drove 45 minutes home, I think. Or no, it was 32 minutes there and then projected longer because of traffic to come home. And then, yeah, I was looking at the menu and like the cheapest thing on the menu was like $12.
And that's an appetizer.
This, the bacon wrapped onion rings was. Now this right here was Marco's plate. Can you guess what this is?
So that's some sort of fucking bacon hamburger, then wrapped in bacon?
Nope. This right here is bacon wrap chicken fried steak.
Oh my goodness. And then the other thing is this bacon hamburger that's bacon and hamburger with bacon on top of it.
Yeah.
And
What's
then
that
that's
white
order
stuff?
of fries.
This was gravy. He told him to put his gravy for the chicken fried steak on the side.
Because, bacon has no taste, so you need gravy on top of it to give it some taste.
Everything. Well, and then the other thing is what? Fries with cheese and bacon on it?
Yeah. Yep.
Because, you gotta have a lot of cheese when you're eating that much bacon.
Yeah, you're right. This is the place that had the 60-40. It wasn't a heart attack grill.
40 seems a little high. I would think, maybe 20%.
Nah, it was 60-40, I believe.
Right. I know. I mean, but as far as like, if you want all your meat to have that bacon taste, but you want it to also have the consistency of mostly beef.
Not to mention he got like 6 strips of bacon on top of it too.
So how much was that plate right there? $70?
Oh no, it was more than that.
More than $70 right there you're looking at. All right, so this is
I'd say it probably was. His probably was 70.
What did you got a picture of what you ate there?
While he's looking up, I just want to throw something out there for perspective while he's looking up for the picture.
Whoa, that's a couple of fries. I'm interested in that. So how much was this burger with fries here?
That Five Guys?
No, this is at the bacon bar.
Okay. Well, Five Guys serves a shitload of French fries.
Nobody fucking goes to Five Guys.
I'd say mine was probably close to $20.
Ooh, that's a lot of money. I don't like those fries as much anymore. Those look kind of well done. Were they good or were they well done?
Oh yeah, they were awesome.
Okay. So you just got a regular hamburger with bacon on it or one of them 60?
I had a mushroom and Swiss, and of course it came with bacon, so I ate the bacon off first and then ate.
But was it a 60-40 or a regular hamburger?
I believe mine was regular.
Okay.
He was like, "Where'd you get the bacon in?" I was like,
That's what
I want to have bacon in my mushroom Swiss. I want to eat what I want.
Crazy. All right, so then that was day 2. They go to the bacon place. Day 3, they go to $1,000 dinner place where you get like beef that they stuck in a closet for like a month, 2 months. How long was it? How much it aged?
45-day aged, I believe.
So they kill a cow and then they take a chunk off of it and they put it in a closet like 45 days and they're like, oh shit, we left that beef in the refrigerator or in the closet. So then they go get it and they scrape off all the mold and then they charge these guys like $700 a slice and then they take that and eat it.
I've just had an epiphany on how to solve Marco's transportation issues that he seems to have. If he actually were to attempt to eat normal, he could actually buy his own plane ticket.
Except that's part of the adventure is having some fun. So
well, but there's no way he ate all that food nor enjoyed it.
He enjoyed it.
His food. Yeah, he has a lot of fun. So next, do you got pictures of your $1,000 dinner?
Yeah,
I mean, that much food is going to make somebody not that what Pink ate, but that other stuff, that 5-patty burger, is going to make them either puke if they eat it, or they'll be like Thanksgiving where they're so gorged that they're like falling asleep at the table.
So next we got the pate, or what is this called? Tartare. So raw beef, Wagyu beef with a piece of raw egg on it. Next to some
caviar.
Now, how ironic is it, the size difference between this picture and Marco's tower of hamburgers?
And same $70 probably.
Yeah, I think that steak was like almost 100.
There you go. And then some stuff from the lawnmower next to it.
I mean, I don't know if it may not be food I would eat, but at least the portions are human.
That's a spoon there, Dano. That's a spoon, and that little orange spot is like a pigeon egg, not a regular chicken egg like Gary. This is
but there's a soup in front of it. There's something else on the side over there.
This was thinly sliced octopus underneath all this, which was good. And then this right here was strips of beef. I forget what they called, but
you got better for that one. That's just raw meat.
What do they call that Japanese beef?
Wagyu. That's what this is. Well, right? I don't know.
Or maybe
It might, yeah, that is.
There's another Japanese beef called Kobe beef.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking of. Yes.
Well, one of them is if it's that is the kind of beef, and then the other one is when it's from there. So it's like champagne and sparkling wine. Like it's the same thing, except if it's from there, it's called champagne. So I forget which is which. I think Wagyu is when it's that type of meat, and then it's Kobe if it's from there. Is that the way it is?
I don't know. It was too fancy for me to know.
But the champagne thing is actually a French law.
But this here is just regular. It isn't all Wagyu meat, because that meat is the one that looks all weird. It looks like a brain or something, where it's white and pink mixed.
Yeah,
this is regular meat right here, right? This is just raw meat, kind of.
Yeah.
Wagyu has a lot of fat through it. The more, the merrier.
So, and then
that was the octopus, which was really good. I mean, it was really good.
All right.
See you later, Gary.
Open it, Gary.
Here was my salad.
He doesn't like to see cracked open eggs. It's not compassionate.
Yeah, is that an enemy?
No, that's just a piece of lettuce, right?
Yeah, it's like if you took a head of lettuce and just ripped off a big chunk of it. That's what this was.
Crazy.
But what's
bacon
the other parts though?
Bacon and a tomato.
Yeah, bacon. There's
I thought it was like a sea, not a sea fish, but from the sea. I thought it was like an anemone or something.
Oh, like just a regular salad. It's just that it's fancy, so they didn't prepare it.
I ate gourmet by once because I had no choice. It was literally the wedding reception.
Yeah.
It wasn't like, would you like beef or would you like chicken or beef or fish? It was like, no, it was all gourmet, 12 courses, hated it.
There you go. 45-day age steak.
Oh, now that says delicious.
So Kobe is Japan, is what DTP said. So that's not Kobe or Wagyu or nothing. That's just a piece of regular cow, and then aged so that it has all its juices and enzymes reacting the way they're supposed to do or whatever.
Right.
Oh, so that's not Japanese meat?
No. Just regular American meat. It's just that when you let it sit there with salt, I guess, it'll start to just digest itself or decompose or start to break down, and that's where it gets. I don't know. What did it taste like?
It's a marinade.
Buttery? No, it's drier, right? Is it
I don't know. It was pretty. I mean, it was good.
But I mean, did it was the grain of the meat gone? Was so it was more like the consistency was different, or was it like the flavor was enhanced?
I think it was more the flavor was enhanced.
Yeah, so it's more like going towards like a jerky or a smoking type of situation than turning it into mush or something.
Yeah.
Because like the Wagyu, I've never ate anything like that, but I'm guessing with all that fat in there, it's more like something like an old person would want, because you wouldn't have to chew it so much. It would all be mushy. Like this isn't to accomplish that, right? This is to make it more like savory or more like flavorful.
Right. Yeah, it was definitely good. There's my side order of mushrooms.
Was that Coco's or somebody else's meat? And then this was how big? This was as big as a baseball or a tennis ball?
Yeah, at least, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like a 4x4 square.
You're paying $1,000 for dinner. You get this as your dessert, and Patriot. You're not seeing this, but the fucking strawberry there, Dano. What's your opinion on that strawberry right there? Is Dano still here? Zorro?
I'm back.
Zorro, you eaten strawberry before? What is your opinion on that strawberry?
Well, looks too tiny.
Can you zoom in? Can we enhance this strawberry? There's not like white chocolate on it or something, is there?
Well, I'm zooming. Well, I mean,
pink is.
What's up with the twizzle stick?
That's part of the decoration or whatever. But that strawberry, it's driving me nuts. It's like what? It's like there's nothing but pith in the middle. Like you would think that they're gonna charge you $700 for dinner.
That's what I'm saying. It's tiny.
Get, like,
or what you're
getting. A big red ripe strawberry, right? Like
it
looks like the big pithy white. Like technically, it's a strawberry.
That's like the one that you get like when they're picking the strawberries. They're like, oh, look at this one. We're gonna cut that one up.
You see the whipped cream, the way they did it there? Doesn't it look, and this is to G, kind of like the whipped cream that they had at the Gun Rights Policy Conference desserts?
Yeah.
When visually,
it's more like I would say it's not quite frosting, but it's more than whipped cream, right? It's like definitely more thick than a whipped cream.
Yeah, it's definitely.
I'd eat the shit out of that though. Whatever the hell that chocolate stuff is there, I'd kick that strawberry off of there and eat the shit out of the rest of that.
Hey, Pink, how did everything taste, the dessert?
As far as the chocolate, it was like death by chocolate. You had the chocolate icing on it, you had chocolate layers, you had chocolate like fudge
inside.
It was just layer after layer of chocolate this, chocolate that. It was
And
it was. I said it was death by chocolate is what I called it.
How did the strawberry and all the other
strawberry was kind of like a raw or unripe strawberry, but the twizzle stick, I forget who it was that ate that. That was chocolate. They had like a little gold leaf type thing
gold?
Up here.
The paper like leaf.
Yeah, and that was edible. So I think.
And this was in Vegas?
Yeah, I think Joe ate the gold on it.
Well, what restaurant in Vegas?
The Edge Steakhouse.
Oh, okay. I got family in Vegas next to the Strip. Huh.
But yeah, everything was edible.
So then this was the third night, and then
this right here, this cheesecake.
Yeah, cheesecake also.
Oh, we were fighting over this one.
You guys were fighting over it?
That's because it has the signature mark of Edge of the Night.
Yeah, Joe ate this.
They all wanted to get Edge in their mouth.
This was edible. I mean, but yeah, we were just going to town on this stuff.
They were all going to town on Edge. Desserts. So
ice cream.
Well, that's good that you guys had fun and you guys ate.
Oh, they're not done. This is just day 3. We were in Vegas for 7
That's day 3.
Yeah, this is the third night. So first they went to the Heart Attack place, then they went to the Bacon place, then they went to the $1,000 dinner. Then we go to the place and he eats a 1-pound hamburger, right? Or I mean, this isn't necessarily in order, but another thing that was eaten was the 1-pound hamburger. And we all
I don't have pics of that.
Well, wasn't it bigger than that? Because Marco was talking about, he said he only ate part of it and gave the rest of it to Mello.
Yeah, no, that one, he ate the 1.5-pound one completely. And then he ate over there that old-ass $1,000 hamburger or steak. And then days later, he goes and says, oh, yeah, I want the 1-pound hamburger that if you eat it in 20 minutes, you get a T-shirt. And then go ahead and put 8 extra slices of cheese and like 4 extra slices of bacon on there. And then I'm going to eat that. And that's the one he only got it halfway through. And that's the one that Mello ate the rest of.
Now, hold on. I'm going to send you pics of what we ate before these because we were there a couple days before you guys, so we were eating other places.
Yeah, so what other places are there? So then you guys
there's Burger King.
No, they only went to fancy places.
Applebee's.
No.
Applebee's.
Olive Garden.
We took everybody out. So at this point, I took everybody out, but I'd have the Vegas sets of Gun Channels cards. So at some point, somebody will buy the rest of the Vegas cards, and then they will have taken everybody out. So we took everybody out on Sunday night before shot. Everybody from Gun Channels to the buffet there, and that was pretty cool. So we all ate buffet that night.
So
then,
is the takeout that you got that night for me coming in like in the mail tomorrow, or?
Wait, what?
Oh, so I guess I didn't get part of that because I'm not part of Gun Jamels?
Correct. Yeah. No,
Okay.
that's why I was saying, see ya.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
Yeah, we probably started snaking like biscuits and donuts and stuff and putting them into envelopes. That would have been a good idea.
Hey guys, I'll talk to you guys later. Thank you for the link, G.
Everybody's leaving, so I guess you start
Well,
talking.
Marco's jumping in, so.
Uh-oh. He's coming to defend himself. All right. Libertas.
So they went to a hot dog place. So Marco found a couple of food places on Instagram and went to some of the recommendations, I guess. So this was some hot dog stand or a hot dog restaurant?
Like a little small hot dog, like
walk up type of thing.
No, I mean you could sit inside. There was only like 6 tables inside though. So
yeah. Is that what 3 different people got, or what? This
is what I got.
That's one person?
Yeah. Marco got this one and this, and I wanted to try the Buckeye hot dog.
Wait, so you were pointing at stuff. So you got the one on the left with mustard on it. Marco got the one on the right, and the fries, whatever those are.
This right here is a picture of all the stuff I got.
Okay, so you got a set of all 2 hot dogs and some kind of fries, and then Marco additionally got his own order of fries and that other kind of hot dog.
Yeah.
Okay.
The one on the right is that right there underneath the 2 pounds of bacon. It's macaroni and cheese and everything on the hot dog.
Where's 2 pounds of bacon? I don't see no bacon. I know
right
2 pounds of bacon on it.
Wow, there was a lot of bacon
around the hot dog. I can see that.
Oh, you're saying before they put that bacon on there, it had a bunch of macaroni and cheese?
Yeah, the macaroni and cheese is under it. I sat there and ate all the bacon off, and then I ate.
Oh, I see. Okay.
The hot dog like that.
So, number 1, I didn't like hot dogs back in the day. It's one of the reasons I don't like eating that stuff. Number 2, I would not want to eat macaroni and cheese on a hot dog. Dano, you can eat macaroni and cheese on a hot dog?
I like both of them, but I've never eaten them together, so I'm very weary.
Patriot, you eat macaroni and cheese on a hot dog?
As long as it's Kogel's. It's all beef and not some other stuff. Sure.
Okay. Was it good, Pink? You said you like it?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. All of it was good.
I never liked eating hot dogs. I don't know how you people eat hot dogs.
This one right here, though, I liked it better than the mac and cheese one.
So what is this? It's a hot dog with a shit ton of burnt onion, or what do they call it?
It's got
onions and then mustard.
That's a Korean mayonnaise. I forget what it's called. It's a.
Oh, okay. So some kind of a flavored mayonnaise that's yellow.
Yeah, and then
it's a garlic. It's a garlic aioli.
Aioli. Oh, okay. It's a millennial mayonnaise.
Yeah, I wasn't a fan of it. At least not on the fries. I think I had to get overwhelmed the fries, but I love garlic.
Cisco's saying he's had mac and cheese on a pizza before. I think I have had that, and I felt like I was betraying pizza by eating it. I mean, it's edible, but I don't go around doing that.
What was on it?
Macaroni and cheese on a pizza. I think I went to a bar one time and they had it, and I was like,
We went
but
to
it
this
didn't.
place that served the pizza that was it was like a pizza that rolled over on itself, so it was half pizza, half stromboli.
Oh yeah, I've heard of that monstrosity before. So it's fake. Fake.
We went there too, and when we ordered it, the first question out of our mouths was, "Do you want mac and cheese in it?" That was like the first topping.
I feel like you don't have. You have a certain obligation, a responsibility to get up and kick somebody like that in the nuts when they ask you a fucking question like that.
No, because the fact that they offer a pizza rolled into a stromboli, I think is an awesome fact.
No, why don't you and
garlic bread, and they twist off the crust that rolls over the garlic bites, and those were the best.
Why don't you and Midnight go to a restaurant and order that together more? Because that seems like a dumb thing to do. Either you're gonna just tuck and get a, whatever that's called. What's that called again when you fold it over? Cannoli? No.
Calzone.
A calzone. Just go ahead and tuck. Buy a 9mm, get a calzone, or buy a regular pizza. But this half and half shit, there's only 2 genders of pizza. Pizza and calzone. None of this
Sometimes
happens.
you want both. Sometimes like sometimes I want a couple.
And then what if a
pizza, I
child?
want half a
Here's my
stromboli.
question: what if a child's in that pizza place, and now that parent has to explain to the child what the hell you're doing over there?
Okay, that's that parent's problem not to expose a child to real life.
All right, so you went to this crazy hot dog place and had crazy hot dogs, and then is this another place, or is this?
I saw someone ask like, how much did we spend on food? Honestly, we either got like discounted prices, or like the places weren't like the places that were really expensive. We kind of got discounted prices and like pretty good discounts. The places that weren't that expensive, they seemed not to give us a discount, but at the same time, it wasn't that expensive. And the fact that we were eating these meals, we only ate once a day. For like 6 days.
So not always, but number one, it's a vacation. Number two, you guys are monetizing it. So some people are rolling their eyes and going, oh, pictures. But you know what? Restaurants who are competing with other restaurants, and there's people that are going into that town every single day for tourism, they're competing with other restaurants, and they like the idea that people are out there putting effort into taking pictures of food and letting people know what's going on. And both of these guys have put, shushing me. Both of these guys have put in a lot of effort on their projects, right? And their channels, and they include food in there. And that's strategic, right? To some extent. Because now when you go to places, it's fucking cool. Watch Marco when he sits down at a place and eats. He's real savvy about it. And I think you're improving their awareness. Like a couple of times we sat down and the waitress would, they didn't have something in place or whatever, like that place with the one hamburger. They're like, oh, we don't have that. But you went back a couple of days later and they did have something for Instagram people. So these people are totally aware of the reach and the influence that just a few people can have on their bottom line, on their businesses. And that's one of the things that I try to encourage people to be aware of. It's not hard at all to get inexpensive stuff discounted, and food is super inexpensive in the grand scheme of things. So a lot of that markup is service, and if you can provide a service to them in trade, you can get discounts. So yeah, Marco and Pink spent a lot on food, I'm sure, compared to what I paid on food, but compared to what that stuff cost retail, you guys didn't pay that much.
No,
on a health note, a little bit of portion control would go a long way.
Oh no, but
come on, this is vacation. They're having fun.
And then at that, you reduce the portion control by 1 meal.
Oh, come on. There were 5 hamburgers on one patty.
No, 3. The biggest one had 3 patties and 15 strips of bacon. Thank you very much. So he was wrong.
Exactly.
But listen, like when you eat only once a day, that's your portion control.
Yeah.
And they're walking through shots, so they're not riding go-karts.
Oh, they're going to have a heart attack. There's no way to justify either this for health or any other reason, but it's not like they're just like independently wealthy and just dropping thousands on crazy food the whole time.
My point was is you can enjoy fine dining and wonderful things to eat without either being unhealthy or ruining or then having to go home and then regretting.
You can listen to nursery rhymes and in like ballads and anthems, or you can fucking listen to rock and roll, and they just decided to turn it up to 11 and have fun on their vacation.
Hey, listen.
First of all, I think they're both grown men and they can speak for themselves. They don't need their mom.
I'll mansplain for them.
Listen, I don't know what part of America you come from, but where 15 strips of bacon on however many patties you want to put it on isn't fine dining, then I don't know what is.
I will say these were the best meatballs I've ever had.
Those are the best, yeah. And I'm not even a fan of meatballs.
And Mom, what do you have to say?
I'm waiting for you to tell them how big their balls are. That they're too big.
I got a question about the bacon, since I can't see now. Was it like they cooked it on like a grill, or was it this deep fried stuff, or how'd they go about it? I mean,
we have 3 major bacon experiences, so you have to refer to which one.
Okay, like on the.
We have the bacon bar, we have the heart attack special, and we have the hot dogs.
Okay, I'm sure that on the hot dogs or that kind of stuff, it was just kind of maybe deep fried, but like the stuff on
it was skillet. It was skillet fried. Like it was cooked on. It was cooked on like the hot skillet or whatever. Yeah.
Okay, so they were flat. It wasn't just thrown in a deep. Okay, I can't see the pictures, so.
The deep fried onion rings were deep fried though.
Nice.
Or the bacon wrapped onion rings, as you say, those were deep fried. You could tell.
Yeah, back to this one. See, I got this to start with, the meatballs, which were amazing. I mean, I sat there and just lapped up all the sauce just because it was so good.
Yeah. See,
and then here's the pizza.
I would not be able to sit there and say stuff like that on Men's Chat. I'm just saying. No, here's this atrocity.
But G-Webs, those little garlic bread bites that they twist the dough in, like right where it curls over, the best.
Oh, yeah.
Of course. They got to make it palatable, but whatever MSG probably in there or whatever to get you hooked on it.
I think they overdid it with the feta cheese, though. The feta cheese was a little too much. I started scraping some off.
Yeah.
Make up your damn mind. Get a pizza.
What if I want both? Do I have to buy them both separately, or can I just buy them both combined?
Here, where's Dano? He's got to tell you, life is choices sometimes.
But I made the choice to get both.
Yeah, this was one good pizza.
Mm-hmm. So, where was this at?
This was Brooklyn Pizza Company.
Yeah.
I never even heard of that. Is that a chain?
No. It's a one place location.
And then on the last day.
Bro, do you have a picture of like 20-inch steak and cheese?
The what? Oh no, you've got that.
Yeah, I think the only same version I have is the one with text over it.
So what's going on with these chips / potatoes?
They're
those fried in such a way that they puff like that?
Yeah.
And they're chips, or they put soft like a potato, like a fry?
They're
soft like a fry.
Soft like a fry. So it's like too thick to be a potato chip, but yet too thin to be like a tater tot.
Oh, I'm eating those. Were they good?
Oh yeah,
they were decent.
And then what's that? A donut or something with powdered sugar on it? What's going on?
That's a meatball sub.
Yeah, it looks like French bread cut in half with some sort of meat and cheese.
And it's weird because like they don't cut it. They only cut it down the middle, not like you know how the end cut like French bread kind of like points out at the end or a little bit, like rounds off. They didn't cut it to like the very end. Like that was actually close. It was very open at the top. And it was designed for everything to sink in there.
So I'm looking for a vote out there, a decision from the audience, if that abomination half pizza, half calzone should be a thing. Yes or no? Like, yes, you like that whole idea, or no, that's a bullshit idea that should be illegal.
I have a follow-up question. Ingredient-wise, what's the difference between a pizza and a calzone?
Okay, a pizza is the way that it's supposed to exist. There's bread and there's cheese and there's sauce on a ratio, right? And then a calzone, you just take the ratio on the chalkboard and you just erase all that, and it's like 90% bread. They wipe a shit ton of sauce in there, and then they skimp on all the toppings because you can't see them, and they don't have to put them in there anymore.
No.
So it's the exact same thing as Americanized Mexican food.
Oh, it's the worst. Yeah.
Sauce is always on the side. Sauce is always on the side. And usually, if the place is if the place is a piece of shit, then the place is a piece of shit. Nothing's really going to help it or change it. But if the place is good, you will actually get more toppings in a stromboli than you will on a pizza, for sure. and way more cheese.
There's no way. It's not even possible because number one, a pizza has no limit. They could pile cheese on it up to the top of the oven. With a calzone, they have to fold it over. Boom, finite amount of space for cheese. There's a finite amount, and they don't fill it. It's never bloated. It's always like some squished little.
Put it like this. Eventually, the pepperonis will tip over. But if you actually have a pocket, all you have to do is stretch the dough over. Your storage capacity is unlimited.
A calzone is a sandwich. Let's just leave it at that.
No, it's not because it's actually still one.
They're
piece of
both.
bread.
Pizza is hand food as well, though.
Hand food.
Hand.
I actually always eat my pizza with a fork and knife. Thank you very much. I may be a fat ass, but I got class. I do eat my pizza with a fork and knife.
So far, we've only got one vote, I think, from HAP, and it says no. So it looks like the overwhelming majority of people.
So the landslide votes have been tallied.
Well, I thought somebody out there said, "Yeah, why not?"
I didn't see that. I couldn't.
Well, the polls were closed. It was too late for him to vote.
No, she was the first one. It was Vanessa Kitty. She said, "Yes, why not?"
Oh, that she's never talking about anything.
Your voter's an unregistered voter, so I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, exactly. I don't even see her ID. So.
Besides, she's in 3 other chats at this very other moment. She's like everywhere.
DTP say no, make a decision, one or the other. All right, so this was the meatballs sandwiches that you're eating.
Yeah,
what was what was this thing? Yeah,
I got a steak and cheese version.
Oh, you know what? You didn't even put the. I think that price that we found. Well, go ahead and talk about this, but I think that breakfast place should be on the list too.
This was a chocolate chip cannoli. This was all chocolate with the filling and then chocolate chips on both sides.
So what's everybody's opinion on cannolis?
I've never even had one.
Yeah, this is my first time too. This is my first time.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I like original one. But...
So they're like fried, like they're. I guess it's more like a donut, but it's like a taco. Like that thing's a little bit crisp, right? So when you start biting it, it falls apart.
That's like
it took a lot to break that up and eat it. So I mean it wasn't like crispy like a taco shell. It had some strength to it.
Okay, so not like ice cream cone either. It was stronger than all that.
Yeah.
Okay, but then inside it's like frosting or something, I guess, and then
like a creamy frosting with all the chocolate chips in.
I never could get into them, but then I would only get them every once in a while. Like no grandmas made them or anything that I know of. So I never had good ones. I don't think I only had them from restaurants or from bakeries and stuff. What, Dano, you ever eat these things?
I had to find my unmute button here. The fancy Italian desserts?
Cannoli.
Oh, cannolis, yes. Only twice. They were delicious, but yes.
If they made a 1 pound cannoli, I would try to eat it.
Yeah, these were little, right? Like size of your finger?
The ones I had were generally on the smaller side.
But about like 5 or 6 inches long.
Yeah, these were from people that literally were born in Italy and came over to this country who made them, the ones I had.
So you got
leave the pistol, grab the cannoli. Come on.
Well, but that probably was a good one, like authentic or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can have them with honey in it as well, honey and chocolate. Yeah, they're pretty good if you get the right ones.
Not a fan of honey.
This was definitely good. Yeah, this was definitely good.
I don't think I think I only ate breakfast there once. I can't remember when it was.
Yeah, I'm pissed. We didn't eat breakfast buffet there at all. I'm pissed.
No.
I have a quick question for Patriot, slightly off topic,
hey,
but goes the whole conversation. Patriot, can you interact with the side chat?
I couldn't hear either one of them.
So I can back out and do the mobile chat, but not really the...
Okay. I'll talk to you later then.
Okay.
What'd you say, Marco?
I said towards the end of the trip, I kept on bugging Pink. I was like, "Hey, do you want to go to the breakfast buffet? Because we haven't eaten a good breakfast yet. Like the last 2 days, I kept on trying to get him to go eat breakfast. We always ate too much the night before.
So you guys ate at night, and so then when you woke up, you just went to Shot and did all that
Yeah.
stuff, and then
And
afterwards,
honestly, I think I got hungry at Shot once, only once. We average maybe like 1.2 meals a day. I think there's only like once or twice that I ate 2 meals.
So I like to ideally eat a breakfast buffet, eat a shit ton of food, and then not have to eat again for the rest of the day. But that ain't really doable. And then you get to Shot late, so it's just not really practical. And then going to a breakfast buffet on the weekend can be double the price, so I can't deal with that because it's the same breakfast buffet. So I like to go during the week, so it's sort of a catch-22. So I don't personally like going to a buffet at night and then trying to eat a bunch for the next day. So
yeah, no, honestly, I mean, like if it weren't for the food places that we went to, I probably would have ate like a moderate amount at night, and then just done the breakfast thing early. But yeah, no, like it just happened to work out in reverse this year.
So General is saying Betty Crocker podcast, daily food show. So yeah, we're just chatting about food because Marco and Pink have some fun when they're out there. And I've joined them on some of them. Joe joined them on, there's the other dude from Gun Websites that went up there. Joins them on their food adventures. And that's part of the trip, really, and part of us, at least over the last few years, getting together and having fun. And I did the same thing in DC when I was out there. Marco took me to have pupusas. So it's just another way that we have fun with gun channels and meeting up. So now, what is this? Some breakfast, I guess.
Before you continue, I just want to say I'm going to bow out. Thanks a lot, guys. We'll catch you later.
Yep. See you down.
Might as well shut it down since it's probably midnight here, meaning we've been on for a couple hours. So with that, there are a couple people still watching. So thanks for everybody who joined us live. And for the people that are watching on the they're still watching, you're welcome to jump in. I had the link over on Patreon. I started this show up maybe an hour early today and threw a link over there on Patreon. So a bunch of people have jumped in and just been chatting. So you're welcome to. Otherwise, you can jump over to Gun Channels. We'll throw a link out there. Is anybody doing live shows at night anymore? I guess not. So if anybody wants to do live shows over on Gun Channels, that's still an option. You're always welcome. And see you tomorrow.